that many of you already know who they are. They are a 35-year-old registered training provider, registered with SkillsFuture, and also a member of SSA group of companies. Their core business is training and development. So their problem statement is very, very interesting. Is how might we use data and AI techniques to actually enhance the learning ecosystem to provide more accurate, more curated training recommendations for each worker's needs, which means that personalization and customization over there, which are mapped and aligned with their employer's business requirements. So this is both alignment of personal needs as well as the business. So allow me to introduce, representing SSA Academy, we have their Assistant Vice President of Technology Solutions, Amir Abdullah, with more than 15 years of experience in education and management consulting. He has been extensively involved in several digitalization initiatives across several business and government agencies. Now let's welcome AVP of Technological Solutions of SSA Academy, Amir Abdullah, please.
Hi, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. Okay, thanks to IMDA team and thanks to OIP for giving us this opportunity to share what is it that we wish to get the problem solvers to assist us in. So basically here, SSA Academy, we are trying to look at some kind of AI techniques to personalize corporate learning opportunities. And this is primarily to be able to drive performance for the organization's employees. So a bit of a background about SSA Academy. We've been around for more than 35 years to be exact. These are the kind of corporate clients that we've been dealing with, both locally and also internationally, from the likes of Yellow Ribbon, Blizzard, and overseas. We have dealt with the government agencies of Brunei and also in Abu Dhabi, in UAE. And we combine our training a lot with our consulting services. So in terms of consulting, we have been engaging in a myriad of areas, in particular productivity improvements, strategic planning and management, human capital development, all the way to digital solutions and analytics. And this is one of our latest foray that we have gone into, and this is where we have been engaging with our international clients. So in essence, we believe that it is important to combine training, development with consulting and technology services to be able to achieve operational efficiency, as well as to drive performance in our individual learners. So I'll go straight to one of our key products here, and this is what we call our best analytics. Now, this particular best analytics is primarily a predictive. It is a predictive report, fully automated, generated currently using. I think it's a very kind of a standard PHP protocol kind of a coding system to generate a passive predictive set of inputs based on passive modeling that we have done. So through our sort of rigorous initial studies and testing of a set of data of more than 500 cases, we're able to simulate how a subject matter expert will be able to come out with a series of recommendations about what can an organization be able to improve themselves. Now, this is very much skewed towards the area of consulting, but there is a lot of opportunities, and we want to be able to adapt this particular AI system. I wouldn't call it full AI system because it is actually a passive, but that is the idea that we have at the end of the day. So what we wish to do is that we would like to be able to further refine on our ability to look at the talent development aspect. So instead of just saying conducting a training needs analysis, we want to be able to provide something that is a bit more intuitive, more meaningful, something that can be linked to our training programs. Now, out there, what we can see is that there's a lot of LMS systems that gives you tons and thousands of training programs, but none of it is able to help us to pinpoint exactly what kind of training programs you should be attending. And we are in a position where we have got both the technology and the training programs that we can offer to our corporate clients. And this is where we would like to be able to see how is it that we're able to marry these two areas together and to be able to better provide better insights for our future trainees. So this is where we believe that we notice that there are some issues. So the problem that we face here is that we wish to be able to look at kind of a targeted learning and development recommendations And this is something that must be aligned to the individual learning needs, not just a kind of a general recommendations. Oh, okay, so you are in finance. This is the latest of finance training that you can try and attend. I'm in the area of HR. This is the kind of HR training that you can attend. We want it to be something more personalized based on their competency at that point in time. Okay, so it's not it's not about just in case kind of the training, but it must be based on just what you need. So what you need is what we will offer to you. Okay, and because we want it to be something that is able to work and learn by itself, this is where we want to also see ROI to be generated by the organizations when they send their staff for training. So for example, if I have gone a training in terms of being able to do a good presentation, so subsequently after the training program, when I attend this particular person's presentation session, am I able to see an improvement in their ability to present? And if they can we provide a system where we are able to give feedback about this particular person on this application, and that particular feedback based on an NLP kind of a system, we're able to quantify their performance from that qualitative input and put it into the model to be able to predict what kind of future training programs that we can then recommend for this particular individual. Okay, so this is it is a kind of a three-prong approach. The first approach is we need to have a kind of a good system to be able to capture what is the baseline score of this particular individual across the various skill sets. And this is something that we can assist the problem solver to be able to match with the existing skills framework that Singapore has. Now, with that particular input that we have, we can then be able to use our initial mapping of the skills and competencies of individuals and to be able to come up with a system to be able to train the data. Okay, and this trained data can then be able to help us to perform the future predictive or to be able to predict what kind of courses that is actually recommended for this particular individual. Okay, and based on the prediction, we can then prescribe to the individuals in that particular automated report that look for this individual A, these are the kind of training programs that they should attend. Okay, and the second aspect of this particular system that we wish to achieve is the NLP component, which is to be able to track their performance. So the NLP must be something, it is a system where we're able to put into the system, fit into the system, what are the kind of keywords or the key phrases that is being used to be able to describe someone's skill sets, and how do we then create a kind of an ordinal to be able to quantify that such kind of words would mean it is a score of say 5 or 4 or 3. So these are something that needs to be quantified, something that needs to be discussed with the vendor as we develop the prototype. Okay, and this particular scores that we are collating over a period of time can be aggregated, and we can find some kind of a weighted score or weighted average score, and we can compare it against the skill set at the beginning when we did the pre-evaluation survey. So from here, we are able to see whether there's any significant improvement as a result of them attending the training program. And we can then look at all of the various kind of skill sets that this individual is supposed to have based on the competency or based on their job family that they are under. So if I were to look at some examples, so what I mean about the idea of the NLP is that I can put in, say, a kind of a series of words or a series of descriptive words to say about their personality, for example, or their ability to relate to questions. So here you can talk about involving others, about they always question certain status quo, or they are the one that is able to link certain ideas together, the dot connector kind of a people. And we can then find a way to categorize or to be able to organize them. And this is something that can be fed back into our NLP system. Now, the other scenario that we talk about in terms of the machine learning is that rather than just talking about you should go for TNA or improve on your negotiation skills, we want to take it one notch higher. When we talk about, okay, so when you talk about them needing to improve themselves, we are able to them, look, I think you need to go for the managerial finance course at level 3, and I can click sign up and I can automatically have access to the asynchronous training courses, or if it needs to be a synchronous training program, that can be suggested as well. So it will bring them to a kind of a registration page where they can just choose to say, I want to register for this particular training program. Okay, so at the end of the day, these are the kind of recommendations that we want to be able to map from the predictive analytics and to be able to correctly prescribe the appropriate training programs based on whatever data of training programs that we are able to provide, or for that matter, any other third-party training providers. So this is something that we can help better the training and other education industry to be able to ensure that they are able to provide more targeted training programs for corporate learners. So I believe that in this particular approach, it is definitely going to have a lot of corporates out there where, look, a particular staff may say that I think I need to go for this training program. I think I need to go for that. But where's the justifications for that? Where's the proof for that? So this is something that could add as an objective approach towards assessing, evaluating someone's skills and experience to appropriate training programs at the appropriate level. So this is something that we hope that we could find a suitable vendor to be able to assist us. And at the end of the day, we believe that it can help us to benefit a lot of our other clients that we have been engaging with at the international front. So we are planting our seeds at the UAE, and we are also in Indonesia. Hopefully we are able to see partners working with us to be able to see this solution to be used across other countries as well. So that's the end of my session.
Thank you very much, Amir. It sounds like a very comprehensive, yet at the same time, very intuitive system, right? Comprehensive on the back end, but intuitive on the front end for the users to use. I think that's beautiful. It might need some time to fulfill. I guess they could come out with the MVP first as well, right?
Sure. Yes.
Any particular sectors that you're looking at, like as the most important, or the area that will bring the most leverage to these trainees or these people looking to learn, and anything that you feel is they should focus on first, because that being a huge system over here, right?
I would think that a good start will be on the machine learning component, because we have the baseline model for us to work with. We have the design behind how we are doing the predictive analytics. It is just a matter of mapping it to appropriate Python-based modeling, and to be able to bring in, if we can, the automated version of it, where we are able to do a kind of a scheduled modeling process based on the data that is coming back into the system. And subsequently, if you're able to work on the NLP component, that is going to be a kind of a value add to the users.
For sure. That sounds great. And talking about data, right? And one of our attendees is asking, like, what kind of data is available for the problem solvers to actually develop the recommendation models?
Okay, so what happens here is that we have already a kind of a series of data that we have been collecting in our training programs. And we continue to collect data based on our engagements with our corporate clients. So based on this set of data that we have, and based on our ability to map those competency levels to the skills framework that Singapore is currently adopting across all the 43 different industries. These are the kind of data that we will be able to provide. We have all the necessary skill sets. We have all the training program lists that we are able to provide with the necessary codes for that matter.
Right. Thank you very much for answering that. And of course, I believe there are more resources and more materials and more experiences and case studies embedded within the data that you'll get when you sign up from OIP as well. So we look forward to seeing you there with the forum and the questions. And do not worry, any question that goes unanswered today will actually go onto the forum. And you please do feel free to raise more questions with the problem owners as well. And with that, I'd just like to ask Amir, any last things that you'd like to emphasize on before we close off on your challenge brief over here? Anything you would like to emphasize to the problem solvers over here?
Well, the only thing I can share is that this is going to be a kind of an exciting journey, because as it is, our system is already been adopted by some of the government agencies in the Middle East. And this is something that we wish to add value to the experience of our partners in UAE, for example. So this is something that we will have to continue to leverage on, and I believe that there will be more doors of opportunities that we could open up as we collaborate with our prospective problem solvers.
Thank you very much, Amir. Thank you so much for sharing your challenges and possibilities of where you guys can go together far beyond OIP. Actually, I believe that this is where the spark happens, and you can continue to kindle the relationship to expand it on a nationwide basis as well as regional, right? Thank you very much, Amir.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We really, really appreciate it.